Can you have a lightener that lifts and tones at the same time? Today I'm going to test that. I hope you're ready to science today. Brought the lab coat back. I got some Blonde Solutions. People have emailed me, asked me about Blonde Solutions. I've seen the videos online, and I'm really curious. Blonde Solutions is a pigmented lightener that claims to lift cool. They claim to give you lighter and brighter results because of the special pigments inside their lightener. Today I want to test that. I also noticed Blonde Solutions has a pigmented developer, and this developer is so blue, purple. Check this out. It looks like purple shampoo. Compared to a normal developer, looks like my lab coat. So what I want to test today is I want to compare the Blonde Solutions Lightener, which claims to have 9 levels of lift, to another 9-level lightener. Like from my previous lightener test, Joico Blonde Life, that one I felt like had the best results. It's labeled as a 9-level lightener. That's the one we're going to go with. When I ordered from Blonde Solutions, they were out of 20 volume developer with no indication of when they would restock, so I ordered 10 volume. What I'm going to do is mix up Blonde Solutions Lightener with a 10 volume cream developer and the 10 volume pigmented developer. So that way I can compare the two swatches and see if the pigmented developer made a difference at all, or if just the regular developer is sufficient. Then I'm going to compare it to Pravana Pure Light, another 9-level of lift lightener, and I'm going to mix Pravana Pure Light, the 10 volume developer, and a pigmented 10 volume developer. So in the end of the day, I'll have 4 swatches, and I'll be able to test what made the difference. Now I have to admit I'm skeptical, because there are really not many pigments that can survive the bleaching process. I've seen stylists add color to their lightener, and they swear it makes a difference. I think more of that really has to do with confirmation bias. People often see what they believe they're going to see. If you compared lightener with color in it to lightener with no color in it, your results may look exactly the same. Or perhaps the lightener with no additives would have done an even better job. I'm missing some information here because I do know that there is a pigment that can survive the bleaching process, but I had also heard that Wella owned the patent to it, so no one else was able to use it. This is labeled as patent pending technology. All of the ingredients, they're really similar to any other commercial lightener you would find. Potassium persulfate and ammonium persulfate are your lighteners. There's some other stuff in there. Most commercial lighteners use ultramarines. That's what gives us the blue pigment in the powder itself. This one uses tetrabromophenol blue, followed by acid red 92. I don't know if acid colors can survive the lightening process, and I don't know if tetrabromophenol blue can survive the lightening process. However, Wella Magma also contains these 2 ingredients as their last ingredient, so it's definitely something that's been used before. Before I mix up the lightener and really test that, I want to test the 10 volume developer and see if it is in fact 10 volume. I have had the issue before with some developers where they claim to work better than other developers. They're labeled as, say, a 20, and you test them and they're actually a 30. So I just want to make sure that no one's doing anything tricky here. I'm not really expecting anything tricky. 1 cc of 10 volume should release 10 cc's of oxygen. So let's test this out. I still see quite a bit of oxygen being released, so we're just going to let that chill. Now I haven't quite made it to 10 volume yet. I noticed on my pipette it was hard to get all of the lightener out of it, but what I didn't see on this was something super duper active. And I'm pretty confident within the margins of my human error that this is legit 10 volume. The packaging, cardboard tube, metal lid inserts, comes with, looks like about a 30-gram scoop. And of course, it's all sealed up. We'll ask Sweeney Todd for some help with that one. And the recommended mixing ratio is 1 to 2. So we'll use the scale. Look at that mixture. That turned very violet as soon as I started mixing it up. So, Blonde Solutions, 9, up against Pravana Pure Light Ultra Lightener. Let's process them for the full processing time. So while we're processing, let's talk about some of the finer points of Blonde Solutions. Something I find fascinating is they recommend that you mix for 3 to 4 minutes. It's quite a bit of mixing. I did make sure to follow those directions. But it also says not recommended for highlight/foil work. If pigment is noticeable, work in with brush until removed. So there may be a lot of stylists out there using Blonde Solutions for highlights, and this product is specifically not recommended for use with highlights. I'll see you in about an hour. Did it tone, and does it matter? Before I show you the results, which you can kind of already see, let me say this. Anytime you lighten hair, what you're going to see is warmth. You're going to see things in the red, orange, yellow families. Our eye perceives warm colors as lighter. As you cool them down, they are going to appear darker. So just because something tones as it deposits, that doesn't mean that it's going to be a visibly lighter result. It may in fact make it look darker. But the real question I wanted to answer today is, does the Blonde Solutions actually tone as it deposits? Well, I was surprised. Let's check it out. These are my swatches with the Pravana lightener. This is the one that used the Blonde Solutions pigmented developer. This is the one that just used a generic 10 volume developer. And I don't think I'm imagining things. I feel like the one that didn't use the pigmented developer looks a little bit lighter. Some of that could be margin of error, the density of the hair, the density of the swatch. All in all, they're fairly similar. But I do feel like the Pravana with the regular 10 volume developer is very, very light. Now I am impressed with the lightener because this is well as Blondor with 20 volume for the same amount of time. And I do feel like the Pravana lightener edged out even with the lower volume developer. And this hair does feel really good. The swatch that I used the pigmented developer on does feel a little bit softer though. Maybe a little bit more conditioned. So that's a plus for Blonde Solutions. Here's my Blonde Solutions pigmented lightener with generic developer. And this is the Blonde Solutions with the pigmented developer. I really did not expect the pigmented developer to have a visible result, but I do feel like the result with the pigmented developer is slightly cooler than without, and the results with, regardless of brand, are a little bit cooler. Is this a miracle lightener? I don't think so. I think the results kind of speak for themselves. Pravana claiming up to 9 levels of lift, and Blonde Solutions claiming up to 9 levels of lift. Once again, next to our Wella Blondor with 20 volume for the same amount of time. Maybe this did deposit a little bit of toner. Maybe that's what can account for the fact that it does in fact feel a little bit darker. Ounce for ounce, Blonde Solutions is about twice as expensive as a normal lightener. I spent almost $80 getting a liter of developer and 500 grams of lightening powder. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the way I did things or what I'm seeing. Thanks for joining me. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you like what you saw and you want to see some more, go ahead and check out some of my other videos. Feel free to share with any of your nerdy friends. Click the subscribe button. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Let me know what else you want to hear about. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.